For many people, religion is a source of community and comfort. At the same time, religion can come with baggage, guilt, and roadblocks to a meaningful life. Here are some of the best things that came out of leaving Islam from ex-Muslims themselves. Freedom. Like leaving any religion, one of the biggest benefits is simple. Your life doesn't belong to clerics or a deity, it belongs to you.
My principles of right versus wrong, good versus bad, comes from me now.
When asked about the most positive consequence of leaving Islam, many ex-Muslims mentioned a newfound sense of freedom, whether freedom from religious restrictions or freedom of thought.
I finally understood what it feels like to be free, to think for myself and to take my own decisions.
Less stress and less anxiety. Unsurprisingly, those who leave behind shame and fear-based religious doctrine experience a less stressful life once the threat of godly wrath goes away.
It's my life, right? But before, it came from a place of judgment, a place of reward and punishment, and terrible fear. Oh yeah, that's a dark place.
Ex-Muslims overwhelmingly report feeling less stress in their lives after leaving. They're less burdened by guilt for religious transgressions, have less fear of divine consequences for misbehavior, and are generally more content. Clearer thinking. Once your thought process isn't restricted by external or self-imposed needs to rationalize religion, the whole world opens up.
Religion thinks for you. Islam thinks for you. Under Islam, you are not allowed to think for yourself. When your eyes see something that contradicts what the big brother tells you, you have to disbelieve your eyes in order to believe your master.
Letting go of an ideology that stifles questions or actively denies science vastly improves your ability to think critically.
Medicine allows me to probe these questions with critical thought and inquiry, and not because of any adherence to an ideology. I would rather have questions that can't be answered than answers that can't be questioned.
Ex-Muslims find they no longer have to suffer the cognitive dissonance and mental gymnastics to profess belief in ideas they weren't convinced of. Greater tolerance of others. Atheists of all backgrounds often receive some variation of the question, if you're not religious, where could you possibly get your morals from? As though religion is the only legitimate source of morality despite the heinous things condoned by religious text. Not every Muslim, nor every religious person is bigoted by definition, but bigotry becomes much easier to excuse when it's sanctioned by God and reinforces a sense of superiority.
Would I shun him if he left Islam? I would, yeah.
Leaving this mindset and the doctrines enforcing it behind makes you able to engage with many new people and perspectives.
When the people I love see the positive energy that I put into them, they know that I do it without the promise of heaven or the fear of hell.
The result of this is a greater ability to accept people of various backgrounds, faiths, ethnicities, worldviews, and genders without prejudice.
Ever since I left, I've become more open to new ideas and such, because being in a sort of a religion that mandates that you follow certain beliefs sort of cuts you off from other ideas.
All of which leads to a richer life. Living with authenticity and confidence.
I think my life has been better after leaving Islam because it has opened me up to so many more new experiences.
For so many ex-Muslims, Islam was a rigid set of rules of who to be.
Imagine a master that dictates to you and plans for you your day since the moment you wake up until you go back to bed. When to wake up, how to wake up, when to go into the bathroom, how to eat, what not to eat, what to drink, what not to drink, who to be friends with, etc., etc. How horrible would that be?
This leaves little room for self-expression and exploration. But once they stop living according to an imposed worldview, ex-Muslims find a whole new self to discover. Suddenly, new interests, hobbies, and entire facets of their personalities become available to explore.
I can be my most authentic self with all the flaws and uncertainties that I contain.
Purpose and meaning. Despite the fact that many use religion to feel a sense of purpose, leaving Islam can actually embolden people to live more meaningful lives. Without needing to appease a god, ex-Muslims are able to find meaning all around them, in their own goals, values, and other people. Ex-Muslims are able to derive meaning from within, rather than from an external religious source, something they describe as far more enduring and fulfilling.